curious, how active has FASB been in issuing its own guidance? You know, amending the GAAP codification and issuing so-called accounting standard updates.
Mike, this has been a surprise for many of us. Certainly it's been a surprise for me. When the codification was issued in July 2009, I anticipated, given the emphasis on the FASB IASB joint projects, that there would be little change to the codification subsequent to July 2009, at least in the foreseeable year or two. What has happened, though, is that FASB, as well as the related groups associated with FASB, such as the EITF, have been very active in amending the codification. We've had upwards of 45 ASUs issued since July 2009. And while some of them were simply technical corrections, some of them were associated with very minor issues, a number of them have made major changes to the accounting literature, and this is taking place at the same time the emphasis on the FASB IASB joint projects are taking place. I guess the point is, and probably the point of the question is, has there been substantive change, and should we expect more substantive change to take place in the U.S. GAAP literature in the foreseeable future? And I think based on the past activity as well as the agenda projects currently on FASB's website, it seems to me that there's going to be extensive changes to the FASB accounting literature or extensive changes to the FASB codification during the next couple of years.
Okay, let's make sure I understand you. Are these accounting standard updates issued instead of or in addition to what you used to call FASB staff positions, or FSPs?
Many of the ASUs, Mike, are the result of the same processes that were in place to generate FASB staff positions, were in place to generate FASB interpretations, and were in place to generate emerging issue task force outcomes. What has happened is we now have one process to establish amendments to the FASB codification rather than, as we had before, a number of different processes that actually caused, in the past, some confusion about what was a priority level of GAAP. We no longer have that confusion because the only level of GAAP that exists now is that which is in the codification. So a ASU is in effect a substitute for all of the other types of amendments or interpretations to FASB that existed before July 2009. Everything is now rolled up into an ASU, which makes the amending of the FASB codification a little bit more simpler and also eliminates the discussions about what might be a priority level of GAAP.